right. All right, wrestling fans. It is the day after Survivor Series. I, like most WWE fans, do not know how I feel about this show. There were some good moments, not very many, maybe like two, and the rest was complete and utter garbage. I don't know, Danny, what do you think?
I wouldn't call it garbage, but there was a lot of shenanigans in this Survivor Series, as there is every year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you on that. It's pointless, and they kind of need to go back to the old, Team Austin, Team Rock, and they build teams and try to recruit people. There's just more story to be told there versus just having a bunch of qualifying matches and then you're all on the show and it's the same. Somebody names himself the team captain and nobody wants him to be the captain. They've done this. It's a trope that they use and it's beat to death.
Mm-hmm. And it's just rinse
and laid to rest.
Mm-hmm. And it's just rinse and repeat every year.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, you say the Austin versus Rock thing, they could have done Team McIntyre versus Team Roman Reigns.
That would have worked.
That would have been way better than what they had.
Yep.
But there's a reason.
That match was good. So let's just get to. We'll start talking about the Royal Rumble or the Rumble match that happened before.
Yes, the Battle Royal
on the pre-show.
Yeah. So everyone got their participation ribbons by competing in the Battle Royal. Who wasn't, whoever wasn't on the main show.
Yeah, they got their pre-show bonus.
Yes. So Miz, of course, went over.
Yeah, of course, of all the people.
Yeah, because he obviously needed it.
Yeah, Mr. Money in Bank needed an extra win.
I didn't get that at all.
And given who the last three people that were in there, himself included, you had Chad Gable, who just got his name back, and Dominic Mysterio, which you're doing nothing with.
Right. And I thought Gable looked good one-on-one with Mysterio the brief time that they were wrestling.
Gable makes anybody look amazing.
He does.
He's great.
But that gave me like a little taste of something that I want to see later. Maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Gable against him. Just Gable wrestling in general. I want to see that dude just, go up the card a little bit and have these 15, 20-minute technical wrestling clinics.
Yeah, that'd be great. And he'd put on a heck of a match with Sami Zayn if they ever let him get to there.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. That would be good. But unfortunately, he did not get the Battle Royal win, which he would have been my favorite probably to win that. Or even Dominic would have made more sense, but Miz via shenanigans.
He got knocked out, but it was through the middle rope or off the bottom rope, and he was just waiting outside. Yeah. And then Dominic thought that he had won, and Miz came in and just dumped him over. They do that all the time too.
Yeah, that used to be I think Shawn Michaels was the first one that did that, kind of, when both feet didn't touch the ground, like all those years ago. And
yeah, but he went over the top and 1 foot touched. Like, that was more dramatic. I'm just saying, like, this, like, I stuck out of the match.
Where someone sneaks in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what just happened. They got tossed out, but via the bottom rope. And then they just hang out outside until the match is over. And then they dump whoever it is that's left.
I find it kind of funny that this has happened in so many battle royals that they don't make any kind of a rule for it. The guy's just out there and the refs are doing nothing to put him back in the ring.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I feel that, like, everybody who's dumped out of these Rumble matches, they should just slowly be lumberjacks, everybody.
That would add something to it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would add something to it.
You're eliminated, but now you're a lumberjack. Toss them back in there. If they didn't go out legally, throw them back in.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually not a bad idea. They should consider that. But we're gonna keep having that same exact finish for battle royals almost every time because that's their go-to.
Yep.
And that's it. Nothing we can do about it. So we go on from there to the main show. And the first match to open the show was the Raw versus SmackDown 5-on-5 men's match. This match ended in a clean sweep, which I did not expect. So, first off, do you think they could, if they did a sweep, do you think there was a way they could have made it work better? Because I thought the booking leading up to it did not really make sense, especially Seth just getting himself eliminated. And by the way, if he wanted to get himself eliminated, why did he have to take a Brogue Kick? Why did he just walk out?
I don't know.
But anyway, your thoughts.
My thoughts are, yes, the booking leading up to it is what made it so confusing, because you had Team Raw that was like on the verge of collapse for weeks, and then boom, come the pay-per-view, they all work together just splendidly, and they clean sweep on SmackDown. That was bonkers. And the SmackDown side, the Seth Rollins thing, it didn't make any sense storyline wise, but they couldn't give him a win or anything like that because they don't want to build anything, because they don't know how much time he's going to take off for paternity leave.
Sure.
So that was the reasoning behind that. And I had read online today several sources say that Big E was considered for it, but since they were going with the clean sweep and they want to push him afterward, like after this, that it made no sense to give him a loss in that clean sweep. So it should have been Big E. They didn't do it, and they saved him for their entrance later with the New Day.
With the Gears of War outfits, which was pretty cool. That was awesome. One of the cooler moments of the show. So yeah, Raw wins in a clean sweep, and we move on to, we just mentioned, New Day versus Street Profits. Now, to me, the best match of the night, it's a tie between this one and the main event between Drew and Roman. This match I thought was fantastic. I thought the Street Profits, they get obviously more out of a win than the New Day does. At this point, the New Day are Hall of Famers.
Yeah, the New Day has just their legacy at this point. So they didn't, quote unquote, need it. Put over the new guys, and Street Profits, it was just, they did the tag team wrestling community a favor. That match was great.
It was phenomenal. I loved it. Them hitting, Montez.
I don't know if it was Dax Wilder or Cash Wheeler that posted it on Twitter. They said, Street Profits, a New Day, thank you. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's cool to see. And FTR are big. Like, that's the reason they left WWE. They wanted a tag team division. They wanted a tag team division to be showcased. So yeah, it was great for tag team wrestling. I want to see more of it.
They gave him their due, and that was pretty cool to see.
That is pretty awesome. And even after the match, New Day shaking their hands, holding their hands up, further putting them over, which was good. So yeah, overall that match was great for the tag team wrestling in general. I loved when Montez Ford hit the Trouble in Paradise. That was pretty dope. And yeah, overall, I have no complaints about that match. It was fast paced. New Day is definitely missing something, not having Big E there, and I think that's kind of what.
Yeah, my only gripe with that entire match was that they had Big E banned from ringside, which was weird.
Yeah, would have been cool to have him on the outside. It's not like he was doing anything else.
Yeah, just talking smack. He's hilarious.
He is hilarious. And then them turning Francesca the trombone into the Gears of War gun with the buzzsaw at the end was awesome.
Yeah,
that was great. So one of my favorite
ones knows how to cosplay.
He
does it right.
Yes, he does. So that was that, and then Lashley versus Sammy. So we go from the show pretty much peaking to I thought I was going to say the worst match of the night. Yeah, I think it's the worst match of the night, I would say.
It is. It was 6 minutes of Lashley just beating the heck out of this guy. They've turned Sami Zayn into a joke, and it's kind of sad because he's a top level talent.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think Vince just finds him yakking away funny, so he's just going to keep doing that, even though, in my opinion, he's top 5 in that entire company in the ring.
Yeah, you don't take it from us. Like, you could see him in his feuds with KO in NXT. He was Shinsuke Nakamura's first opponent in NXT.
Oh, Takeover Dallas, yeah, that was an amazing match.
Stupidly good match.
Mm-hmm.
And everything with KO, I hope that they bring that around, and I hope that they can make KO work to go back to Sami Zayn and feud for the IC championship at some point, because those two just are magic together.
They are. They have amazing chemistry, and they just...
And he had amazing chemistry with Shinsuke. If they break up him and Cesaro, I'm not going to cry over it, because make it happen.
I agree. So, by the way, you said 6 minutes. That felt like way longer than 6 minutes. It was just so, like...
It was 6 minutes of the mauling. It was actually an 8-minute match from bell to bell.
Okay, because it just dragged. If you're going to make it a squash match, make it quick. Make it 2-3 minutes and get the hell out.
Yeah.
So...
Give me, Goldberg speed.
Yeah. Yeah, just a few finishes, and that's it.
Yeah, just murder Dolph Ziggler and...
So they had a little bit of a recovery in the next match, Sasha versus Asuka. Solid match. It was nothing amazing, but I think you'll never see those two put on a bad match. So it was fine. It was fine. Sasha got her win. I was really surprised. I was expecting to see possibly Charlotte come back or some kind of a Carmella interference. We didn't see any of that or even a hint of that, so I thought that was weird.
Yeah, I thought at the very least we were going to get one like after the match. And
yeah, at the very least. Yeah, something to make that match a little interesting, but
we'll just have to wait see who the next challenger is on Raw. Rhea Ripley is potentially making her debut tonight or on Friday. We'll see. It looks like maybe we'll get the few weeks off and we'll get vignettes of her. I hope not. I just hope they can just shoot her right back in, and I don't think she needs it.
Yeah, we already know who she is. You don't need to.
You know who she is. She was on, we remember her. She was on the main shows leading up to WrestleMania. We all know who she is.
We're all waiting for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Just plug her in there. And then the next match was the women's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, Raw versus SmackDown.
Yes.
If there's an argument for the worst match of the night against Sami versus Lashley, I think it would be this one. Not that
isn't the worst match of the night is Lashley versus Zayn. But this one arguably has the worst finish of the night.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I was just going to say some of the wrestling in the match wasn't bad. I thought Bianca Belair briefly looked pretty impressive. They could have done more with that, but...
Oh, she did wonderful for the time that she was in there.
I agree. They could have done a lot more, but they just had her count herself out. And Lana, who actually the few minutes that she was in the ring early in the match looked pretty good. And then all of a sudden she's controlling her opponent. She's trying to get someone tagged in, and they don't want to touch her, which to me makes no sense. Isn't the point to win the match?
Yeah, no, she's got cooties, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's got cooties all of a sudden, and then they don't want to tag her, and then so Nia's yelling at her to go stand by the stairs, and a little kid goes and stands by the stairs, and it's
and stays there the remainder of the match.
Right, does not move like a 5-year-old, and it just, if Vince thought her being the last woman standing made her look good or made her look smart in the end, it didn't. It didn't at all. It made her look even weaker.
She did what she was told by the heel in this situation, and won by default by doing 0.
Right. And I think Vince or the writers thought, oh, this makes her look like the smart one. She got the last laugh. No, she didn't.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if she goes through a table tonight.
Hmm. She's gonna. How many weeks until Royal Rumble, the next major pay-per-view? It's
No. She's the table thing ends in TLC, which is the next pay-per-view. She's
good
gonna have
point.
a tables match with Nia. I can almost see the writing on the wall here. You just got to get those titles away from Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Good point.
Maybe give it to, I don't know. Here's a wacky idea. There's like 3 or 4 female tag teams in NXT, and seemingly none on the main roster.
Yeah, bring it back down to NXT. That'd be cool.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Give Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez something else to do. And defend it across all 3 brands. Cool.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, because you're right. There's more of a tag team division down there than there is on the main roster. And also,
their talent level down there is just ridiculous. That's why.
Right. Also, why the hell did they break up the Iconics? I'm trying to figure out the reasoning behind that.
Oh, however, tidbit that I found was very funny last night. I kind of chuckled to myself after I watched it. I forgot what the move is called that Peyton Royce did. Some sort of submission, and Corey Graves snuck in that submission is a perfect 10.
Yeah, I do remember saying that.
I see what you did there. That's awesome.
I do remember him saying that, yes. Little shout out to now Sean Spears of AEW.
Yes.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was a good line he snuck in there.
That little like shout out to the perfect 10. I was like, all right, that's cool.
One of my favorite characters to ever come out of NXT. Like he was
so natural, like just naturally over with the crowd in NXT with that 10 gimmick, and like I thought that they hit gold because they let him come out at number 10 at the Royal Rumble, and we're going off topic, but
yeah.
And then all of a sudden Vince didn't want the 10 chant anymore, and I was like, what are you doing? We digress.
We digress, but I just real quick, you're bringing back that memory of when he debuted at number 10 and the crowd. I don't know if you remember, this was 2017, I want to say, the Rumble for 2017. The crowd, like, it was like a delayed pop. They almost didn't believe it first couple seconds, but then the crowd started to roar, like, because in those stadiums you don't get as much of a pop, it's more of a roar, and the stadium got loud when he came out.
It got there,
yeah. But then he got thrown out like almost immediately, I think, by Braun Strowman, and his career went nowhere. Yeah. But anyway, now we really digress. So
his career said, "No way, Jose.
Yeah.
Get out of here."
Yeah. Anyway, so that does it for the women's match. Now the main event, Drew versus Roman. Solid match. I give it a solid 4 stars. It was 2 big muscular dudes doing 2 big muscular dude things and just throwing each other around and spearing each other through barricades. Even showing their submission prowess. I don't know if you noticed, Drew had a little Kimura lock on Roman. He has breaks for the ropes. Roman had the guillotine a couple of times. So showing their technical wrestling ability while also showing their just raw power, which I'm sure made Vince very happy. So overall, good match.
Great match. As always, Paul Heyman was on the outside. Whenever Roman got in the slightest bit of trouble, his facial expressions just he sells everything so well, and he's really a gem to have at ringside, on commentary, wherever you put him, he's a gem, and love that dude.
It's like you already have an ice cream sundae, and it's like Paul Heyman's on the outside. Oh, let's sprinkle some M&Ms, some Oreos on it. Let's make it 10 times better.
Yeah, whatever it is, just it's like you have a sundae, and then they just give you a free one. Here you go. You're like, oh, I get 2 of them? Cool.
Paul Heyman just adds that much to it, and just his like almost having a heart attack on every 2 count. It's great.
Oh yeah. There was a couple that he totally just wigged out.
I love
did
it.
like that, like, face, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I love him. I love him.
And every time like Roman would kind of glance his way, he like held the championship up to like his face and was like, "This is what you're doing it for."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Hmm. Love it. So overall, solid match. Roman goes over. Thought it made sense. I thought it made more sense than Drew going over because Drew's been on such a hot streak. He's looked so strong all year.
Yeah, like I told you before, Drew didn't necessarily need it. He already had some momentum beating Randy for the second time, um, getting the championship back. He didn't really need it. Roman needs to. I think this, not that it needed to solidify it, but it solidified his heel turn even more.
Right. Solidifies the heel turn. Just solidifies him as a top heel. That's
Yeah.
just gonna. You can just tell he's gonna hold on to that title for quite a bit, and it's fine. That's where the money is. The money's in the chase. The babyface going after the heel, and if he hangs onto the title for a while, I'm good with it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be all over it. I'm gonna eat it up. Num num num.
Mhm.
The next person that he's supposedly gonna feud with is Daniel Bryan, and I'm all for it.
Mm. I don't know if Daniel Bryan should eventually win it, but those matches are going to be good.
Matches are gonna be good. He just gotta get over that hurdle of Jey Uso. There's unfinished business there, and then go right after the big dog.
Right. Right. So yeah, good match overall. And then of course at the end we had the Undertaker final farewell, which
Well,
the entire wrestling world was just sitting waiting to see what would happen.
yeah.
First
On pins
off,
and needles.
yeah, on pins and needles. And then first off, I thought it was interesting that they had all these people come out. Some of them were appropriate, Triple H, Shawn, Ric Flair, Mick Foley. Some of them were a bit of a reach. Jeff Hardy.
Kane was out there too.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy was out there because he painted his face with the logo. Come on.
Yeah. And then who else?
That face paint job was amazing.
It was pretty dope. I agree. Booker T, okay, a little bit of a stretch, but maybe they're close friends. I don't know.
JBL.
Some of the other guys like Rikishi and Savio Vega, they were part of the Bone Street crew, which
yeah, Kevin Nash come out there too. So you had some of the Click things going on.
Yeah, it's almost like you have part of the Click out there. You have to have all of the Click and DX also out there. So yeah, a lot of guys that some of them were a reach that ring was getting a little crowded, but then they showed the video package, and then after the video package, they're all gone.
They all disappeared. Yeah, I thought they were gonna say a couple words after he came out, but
yeah,
it came back to the ring, and Vince McMahon was standing there with a microphone. No explanation as to where the legends went. They're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince was emotional, which was weird to see. And he's looking a little old.
Yeah, I think he's had a little injection, on his face.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what he looked though? He looked tired.
Yeah. Well, what is he? 74? He's getting up there.
Yeah, he looked tired.
The man doesn't sleep. He has said it in a lot of documentaries.
Yeah, that is true.
He's tired. I've heard he gets tired. It's like midnight. And he's like, kind of sleepy. Come on, let's go work out. He'll go to the weight room, and it's like, this man is insane.
Yeah. So he was emotional, and that was strange to see. We've seen that 2 or 3 times that he gets emotional about something. Yeah. So he introduced the Undertaker, which is what we were all here to see, and Undertaker came out in full regalia, every little piece that you could, everything that you would imagine. They played, what I think was the original version of his song that sounded like it was played on in 16-bit something. It sounded like it was coming out of a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It sounded like a Super Nintendo type of song version of his song.
Right. They were doing the thing with the electricity, in sync with it. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. It was
Yeah,
really good.
it sounded very, very early 90s, like 8-bit type of song, like music,
yeah,
which I don't think he ever had anything like that. But then it eventually transitioned. You got the couple gongs, and then you got the original, like the version that we know now.
right.
And he made it his slow walk out,
Hmm.
as he's done for the last 30 years.
Yes. Milked every second of it, which I would have also. And the platform thing was pretty cool. I'm like,
Yeah, him like lifting himself up on the platform.
yeah, that was pretty dope.
That was cool. Um, I would have liked to have heard some of the legends say something nice about him, but maybe we'll save that for the Hall of Fame uh, speech
Good
that I'm
point.
sure we'll get next year. And
Yeah.
they may be saving it for that. That hence why they cleared everybody out.
Possibly. They probably don't want to waste it on like it being empty, like an empty arena, nobody there. They probably want to wait a little bit to see, hey, if this vaccine comes out and we start bringing people back, maybe we can go back to that.
Could be a million things. They could have all been there doing interviews for a special that we don't even know about, that they're talking about the 30 years of Undertaker. So
Good point.
they could have all been there doing that for all we know.
That's a good point.
So, but yeah, he addressed us for what seems like the final time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the best part, somebody was chopping onions up in my office when he did the kneel, that salute bow thing that he always did, and the Paul Bearer graphic popped up. I was like, damn it.
I was
like, now you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the feels.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. So there was a cool tribute. Again, a shame it couldn't be in front of more people, but I'm sure his Hall of Fame induction, they're going to save something for when they can be in front of people again.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be it's going to be the last time we see him ever in a match. He's done wrestling. I think he's done, but we may see him make one final appearance, Hall of Fame related, when we can have people back in the arenas. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But
yeah, and he's not ruled out coming back. He believes in a man, in Vince McMahon, that his thing is never say never. So, and he's been asked. Obviously, he's just get these questions all the time. He's been asked if he's actually interested potentially in being a coach at NXT, which mind blown if you walk in there as a trainee and the Undertaker's sitting there waiting for you.
You can't, like, it doesn't get better than that. You're an enhancement talent, and it's like day one you meet the Undertaker, if you happen to be lucky enough that day.
Yeah. I was like, you get to take bumps with the Undertaker today. What?
Excuse me? Hold on.
You're like, hand me my brown pants.
So yeah, some cool, heartwarming moments, but overall, the show was as most Survivor Series are. But it maybe plants the seed for what they're going to do for the Rumble and Mania moving forward.
I'm not totally poo-pooing the show. I think there were more good spots than bad spots. I'm saying it was a successful Survivor Series, which is not a high bar.
Not a high bar. You're right.
That's the best way that I can put it.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got Raw tonight. We're filming this literally an hour before Raw, so we'll see what happens there. We'll see.
Yeah, we might be, recording this as Vince McMahon is ripping up a script.
You're totally right. 6:17. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
So anyway,
yeah. On your lines, kids.
So yeah, I guess that does it for now. That's our recap of Survivor Series. Anything you want to add?
No, that's our recap. Like, share, and subscribe. As always.
Hit this button right here, this symbol.
Oh yeah, we like this one. Even the Orange Cassidy one. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Whichever one.
Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family. All right.
Tell everybody.
Till next time. See ya.